Barley, Hordeum vulgare, stands as one of the earliest crops domesticated by humans, playing a central role in the rise of agriculture and civilization. Its story begins in the Fertile Crescent, an area often described as the cradle of civilization, where early agricultural societies developed the first methods of farming and cultivation. This vast region spans parts of modern-day Turkey, Syria, Iraq, Israel, Lebanon, and Jordan, areas characterized by fertile soil and conducive climates. It was here, some 10,000 years ago, that the journey of barley as a domesticated crop began. Early domestication and cultivation archaeological evidence suggests that barley was one of the first grains to be cultivated during the Neolithic Revolution, a transformative period when human societies shifted from hunter-gatherer lifestyles to settled agricultural communities. Wild forms of barley existed across this region for millennia, but over time, early humans selectively bred these plants for favorable traits such as larger grains, more stable heads, so the grains wouldn't fall off easily, and greater yields. This process of domestication marked the transition from wild barley to the cultivated barley that has fed humans and animals for thousands of years. The domestication of barley was a pivotal development for early societies because it provided a reliable food source. Unlike wild plants that could be subject to the whims of nature, barley cultivation gave these early communities a level of control over their food supply. The grain's adaptability to various soils and climates made it an ideal crop, especially in semi-arid regions where other crops struggled to thrive. Barley could grow in areas with low rainfall, poor soils, and relatively short growing seasons, characteristics that have ensured its survival as a staple crop for millennia. The significance of barley in early human society extended beyond its nutritional value. As communities grew and agriculture spread, barley became a cornerstone of both the economy and culture of ancient civilizations. In the fertile plains of Mesopotamia, barley was used as a form of currency, and it became a key part of the economic system in early cities. The grain was stored, traded, and used to pay workers, especially in the construction of monumental buildings like the pyramids of Egypt or the ziggurats of ancient Sumer. Barley in ancient civilizations, Mesopotamia, Egypt, and beyond Mesopotamia, often called the birthplace of civilization, was also the birthplace of barley cultivation on a large scale. The Sumerians, who inhabited southern Mesopotamia, modern-day Iraq, were some of the earliest people to domesticate barley. The grain formed the backbone of their agricultural system, which relied on the floodwaters of the Tigris and Euphrates rivers to irrigate their fields. Barley became a staple food, used to make bread, porridges, and most importantly, beer, a beverage of great cultural and religious significance. Beer production in ancient Mesopotamia revolved around barley. The Sumerians, known for their innovations, developed complex brewing techniques that transformed barley into one of the earliest forms of beer. Beer played an important role in religious rituals, communal gatherings, and everyday life. It was believed to be a gift from the gods, and special prayers were offered to Ninkasi, the Sumerian goddess of brewing and beer. In Egypt, barley held a similarly significant place. The ancient Egyptians used barley not only for food but also to brew beer, which was consumed by people across all social classes, from the laborers building the pyramids to the pharaohs and nobles. Egyptian beer was typically brewed with barley and emmer wheat, and like the Sumerians, the Egyptians considered beer a gift from the gods. The famous hymn to Ninkasi, a Sumerian ode to beer, reflects this reverence and illustrates the central role of barley in the cultural and spiritual life of these early civilizations. Barley also featured prominently in ancient Greece and Rome. Greek farmers cultivated barley alongside other grains like wheat, and it became a staple food for their armies, athletes, and citizens. In fact, gladiators in ancient Rome were sometimes referred to as hordearii, or barley men, because of the grain-heavy diets they consumed to build muscle and stamina. Ancient physicians such as Hippocrates recommended barley as a health food, believing it strengthened the body and provided essential nutrients. Barley's symbolic importance can also be found in religious and mythological traditions. The grain was associated with Demeter, the Greek goddess of agriculture and fertility. The Eleusinian mysteries, religious rites that celebrated the life-death-rebirth cycle, involved barley, symbolizing the renewal of life and the cyclical nature of the harvest. Spread of barley cultivation. As human populations expanded and agriculture spread, barley traveled along with them. By 4000 BCE, barley had made its way to Europe, where it became a staple crop in both the Mediterranean regions and the northern climates of what are now modern-day Germany, Britain, and Scandinavia. Its hardiness made it one of the few grains capable of growing in the cool, damp environments of northern Europe. In these regions, barley continued to be used for bread and porridge, but brewing beer remained one of its most important functions. Further east, barley became a fundamental part of agriculture in Central Asia and China. In Tibet, barley, locally known as sampa, became a crucial food source and was revered in religious practices. Tibetan monks consumed sampa, a flour made from roasted barley, as a staple in their diet, considering it a sacred food that provided both physical sustenance and spiritual strength. Barley's adaptability also allowed it to thrive in the challenging conditions of the Middle East, where it became a critical crop for nomadic tribes and settled communities alike. Its importance spread to North Africa and even into sub-Saharan Africa, where it remains a key crop in Ethiopia. Barley is used in traditional Ethiopian foods, including a bread called injera, which is made from a mix of barley and teff flour. Barley in religious and cultural practices throughout history, barley has held a place not only as a food source but also in religious, ceremonial, and cultural practices. In ancient rituals, barley was often used as a symbol of fertility and abundance, tied to the cyclical nature of life and agriculture. In many cultures, barley was included in offerings to deities associated with agriculture, such as the Greek goddess Demeter or the Roman goddess Ceres. In Judaism, barley was one of the 7 species mentioned in the Bible as the blessings of the Promised Land, along with wheat, grapes, figs, pomegranates, olives, and honey. Barley was offered as a first fruit offering during the Feast of Unleavened Bread, marking the beginning of the harvest season in ancient Israel. Barley's deep roots in human history, agriculture, and religion demonstrate its profound impact on the development of civilizations. As one of the oldest cultivated grains, barley has shaped economies, sustained populations, and become an integral part of human cultural and spiritual life. Its journey from wild grass in the Fertile Crescent to a staple of diets around the globe underscores its significance as one of humanity's most enduring crops. Barley, Hordeum vulgare, is a member of the Poaceae family, commonly known as the grass family, and it is closely related to other grains like wheat and oats. Understanding the biology and growth characteristics of barley provides insight into its resilience and adaptability, which have allowed it to thrive across diverse climates and regions. Morphological features. Barley plants exhibit a variety of morphological characteristics that contribute to their success as a cultivated grain. Typically, barley grows to a height of 2 to 3 feet, depending on the variety and growing conditions. The plant consists of several components: the root system, stem, culm, leaves, and flower spikes. 1. Roots. Barley has a shallow root system that allows it to effectively absorb moisture and nutrients from the upper layers of soil. This adaptability is particularly beneficial in regions with limited rainfall, as barley can utilize any available moisture from light rains. 2. Stem and leaves. The stem of barley is hollow and consists of internodes that support the plant. 2. The leaves are narrow and elongated, featuring a distinct arrangement that allows them to capture sunlight efficiently. 2. The leaf blades are equipped with fine hairs that can help reduce moisture loss, enhancing the plant's ability to thrive in arid environments. 3. Flowering and spike development. Barley produces flowers in dense clusters called spikes. 3. Each spike contains multiple spikelets, which house the grains. 3. Barley can be classified into 2 primary types based on the arrangement of grains in the spike: 2-row barley and 6-row barley. 3. 2-row barley has 1 grain per spikelet on each side of the spike, while 6-row barley has 3 grains per spikelet, resulting in a more prolific yield. Growth stages. Barley development progresses through several distinct stages, each crucial for producing a successful crop. 1. Germination. This stage begins when seeds absorb moisture and swell, breaking through the seed coat. 1. Enzymes become activated, initiating metabolic processes that support growth. 2. Seedling stage. Once germination occurs, the plant develops its first leaves and root system. 2. Adequate moisture and nutrients during this phase are critical for establishing a strong foundation. 3. Tillering. After seedlings establish themselves, they enter the tillering stage, where the plant begins to produce additional stems, tillers. 3. Each tiller can produce its own spike, significantly increasing overall yield potential. 4. Heading. This stage marks the transition from vegetative growth to reproductive development. 4. The spikes emerge from the stem, signaling that the plant is preparing to produce grain. 4. Environmental factors such as temperature and photoperiod can influence the timing of heading. 5. Flowering and grain filling. During flowering, pollen is transferred from the anthers to the stigma, leading to fertilization and the formation of grains. 5. Following fertilization, the grains begin to fill with starch and nutrients, a critical phase for determining final yield. 6. Maturity and harvest. As grains mature, they change color from green to golden brown. 6. This phase is essential for farmers, as they monitor moisture content to determine the optimal time for harvesting. Adaptability to environmental conditions. One of barley's most remarkable traits is its adaptability to varying environmental conditions. Barley thrives in a range of climates, from temperate zones to semi-arid regions, and can withstand lower temperatures compared to other cereal grains. Its ability to tolerate drought conditions allows it to be cultivated in areas where other crops may fail. Barley's cool season growth habit means it is typically planted in the early spring or fall, depending on the climate. In warmer regions, it can be grown as a winter crop, benefiting from cooler temperatures that enhance grain quality. Its short growing season, ranging from 90 to 120 days, enables farmers to fit barley into crop rotations with other cereals, maximizing land use efficiency. Nutritional content and health benefits. Barley is not only a hardy crop but also a nutritious one. It is rich in dietary fiber, vitamins, and minerals, making it an excellent addition to a balanced diet. The soluble fiber found in barley, particularly beta-glucans, is linked to various health benefits, including improved cholesterol levels, better blood sugar control, and enhanced gut health. Beta-glucans help reduce cholesterol absorption in the intestines and support the growth of beneficial gut bacteria, contributing to digestive health. Barley is also a good source of essential nutrients, including B vitamins, iron, magnesium, phosphorus, and selenium, which play vital roles in metabolism and overall health. The grain is often considered a functional food due to its health-promoting properties. Research has shown that incorporating whole barley into the diet can help reduce the risk of chronic diseases such as heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and certain types of cancer. Barley varieties and cultivation practices. There are numerous barley varieties cultivated around the world, each adapted to specific growing conditions and purposes. The primary classifications include 1. Malting barley. This variety is specifically bred for the brewing industry. 1. It has low protein content and high enzyme activity, which are essential for converting starches into fermentable sugars during the malting process. 1. Two-row barley is often preferred for malting due to its larger grains and lower husk content. 2. Feed barley. This type is typically grown for animal feed, characterized by higher protein content and robust growth. 2. Six-row barley is commonly used for feed because it offers higher yields and better forage quality. 3. Food barley. Barley intended for human consumption includes hulled barley, which retains its bran layer, and hull-less, naked, barley. 3. Hulled barley is often used in soups, stews, and whole grain products, while hull-less barley has gained popularity for its health benefits and ease of cooking. Sustainable farming practices. Barley's resilience also makes it a suitable candidate for sustainable farming practices. It can be integrated into crop rotation systems, where it helps improve soil health and reduce pest and disease pressure. The deep root systems of barley help prevent soil erosion, enhance soil structure, and increase water infiltration. Farmers often employ conservation tillage practices when growing barley, minimizing soil disturbance and preserving soil moisture. This approach not only benefits barley but also contributes to the overall sustainability of agricultural systems. Barley's growth characteristics, adaptability, and nutritional benefits underscore its significance as a staple crop. From its morphological features to its role in human health, barley remains an important grain that has shaped agricultural practices and diets for thousands of years. Its continued relevance in modern agriculture and food systems demonstrates the enduring legacy of this ancient grain. Barley, Hordeum vulgare, holds a pivotal position in global agriculture, revered for its versatility, resilience, and economic importance. Cultivated in diverse regions around the world, barley adapts to various climates and soils, making it a staple crop that supports both subsistence farming and commercial agriculture. This chapter explores the cultivation practices, regional variations, and the significance of barley in agricultural systems. Global production and key produces barley is grown in more than 100 countries, with significant production concentrated in regions where climatic conditions favor its growth. The largest producers include Russia, Germany, Canada, and Ukraine. These countries benefit from extensive arable land, favorable weather conditions, and established agricultural infrastructure, allowing for efficient barley cultivation. In Europe, barley is particularly important in countries like Germany and France, where it is a key ingredient in the brewing industry. In Russia, barley is often used for both animal feed and brewing, capitalizing on the country's large agricultural expanse. Meanwhile, Canada has established itself as a major exporter of malting barley, supplying breweries around the world. Cultivation practices. From seed to harvest, the cultivation of barley involves several critical practices that ensure successful growth and high yields. Farmers carefully select barley varieties based on their regional climate, intended use, malting, feed, or food, and market demand. The following key practices are integral to barley cultivation. 1. Soil preparation. Proper soil management is essential for barley production. 1. Farmers typically prepare the soil through plowing and tilling, which helps aerate the soil and eliminate weeds. 1. Soil testing is often conducted to determine nutrient levels and pH, allowing for targeted fertilization. 2. Planting. Barley is generally planted in early spring or fall, depending on the climate. 2. Optimal planting times are crucial, as barley prefers cool temperatures for germination and growth. 2. The seeds are sown at a depth of 1 to 2 inches, allowing for adequate moisture absorption. 3. Fertilization and irrigation. Barley requires specific nutrients, including nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, to support healthy growth. 3. Fertilization practices vary by region but often involve the application of organic or synthetic fertilizers. 3. In drier areas, irrigation may be necessary to ensure sufficient moisture, especially during critical growth stages. 4. Weed and pest management. Effective weed and pest management practices are vital for maintaining barley yields. 4. Farmers may use integrated pest management, IPM, techniques, combining biological controls, crop rotation, and herbicides to minimize the impact of weeds and pests. 4. This approach helps maintain the ecological balance while ensuring crop health. 5. Harvesting. Harvesting typically occurs when the grains have reached physiological maturity and the moisture content has decreased to about 14–20%. 5. Timing is crucial to avoid losses from shattering or spoilage. 5. Modern harvesting equipment, such as combines, efficiently cuts, threshes, and separates the grains from the chaff. Barley in crop rotations and intercropping. Barley is often integrated into crop rotation systems, which help enhance soil fertility and break pest cycles. By alternating barley with other crops, farmers can optimize land use and reduce the reliance on chemical inputs. Barley is particularly effective in rotations with legumes, such as peas or clover, which can fix nitrogen in the soil, benefiting subsequent crops. Intercropping, growing 2 or more crops in proximity, also plays a role in barley cultivation. For instance, barley can be intercropped with oilseeds or legumes, providing ground cover that helps suppress weeds and reduce soil erosion. This practice can enhance overall biodiversity and improve soil health. Barley's role in sustainable agriculture. Barley's adaptability and low input requirements make it an excellent candidate for sustainable agricultural practices. Its ability to thrive in poor soils and drought-prone areas allows farmers to cultivate it in marginal lands, contributing to food security in regions where other crops may fail. Conservation tillage practices, which minimize soil disturbance, are often employed in barley farming to protect soil structure and preserve moisture. This practice not only benefits barley but also promotes overall ecosystem health, helping to maintain soil fertility and prevent erosion. Barley is also gaining recognition for its role in agroecological systems, where farmers focus on biodiversity, crop resilience, and ecological balance. By incorporating barley into diversified farming systems, farmers can enhance their resilience to climate change, pests, and diseases. Barley in livestock feeding and food security. In addition to its use as a food grain for humans, barley plays a crucial role in livestock feeding. Barley is a high-energy feed that provides essential nutrients for cattle, sheep, and other livestock. The use of barley as animal feed helps support livestock production, which is vital for food security in many regions. Barley-based livestock feed is particularly beneficial in areas where other feed sources are scarce. Its adaptability allows farmers to produce barley even in challenging conditions, ensuring a consistent supply of feed and promoting the sustainability of livestock operations. Economic importance and market trends. The economic significance of barley extends beyond its role as a staple crop. The barley industry contributes to local and national economies through the production, processing, and marketing of barley products. In regions where barley is grown, it supports employment in farming, processing, and distribution. Global market trends indicate a growing demand for barley, particularly in the brewing industry. As craft brewing continues to rise in popularity, the need for high-quality malting barley has increased. This trend provides opportunities for barley farmers to diversify their income sources and explore new markets. Additionally, the demand for barley as a health food is on the rise. With increasing awareness of the benefits of whole grains, barley is being incorporated into various food products, including breakfast cereals, snacks, and baked goods. This shift in consumer preferences presents new avenues for farmers and food producers alike. Barley research and future prospects. Ongoing research into barley genetics, agronomy, and breeding techniques aims to improve its yield, disease resistance, and adaptability to changing climates. Scientists are exploring genetic modifications and traditional breeding methods to develop barley varieties that can thrive under extreme conditions, such as drought or salinity. As climate change poses challenges to global food production, barley's resilience and adaptability may play a crucial role in ensuring food security in the future. Continued investment in research and sustainable farming practices will be essential to unlocking the full potential of barley as a vital crop. In summary, barley's significance in agriculture stems from its versatility, resilience, and economic importance. Its cultivation practices, adaptability to various conditions, and role in sustainable farming systems highlight barley's enduring legacy as a staple crop. As global demands evolve, barley will continue to be an integral part of agricultural systems, contributing to food security and the livelihoods of farmers worldwide.